What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today we have an unboxing to dig into for you guys, and this is an exciting unboxing. This is a new locking system to this very prominent company, and I'm definitely excited to check it out. Now, first, I am still sick, so you'll have to kind of deal with my froggy voice. And secondly, my daughter did paint my nails Christmas colors, so you'll have to put up with that for a couple of days at least. We'll use our Keith the Knife Freak channel unboxing knife to dig into this guy, and I'm pretty excited to check this thing out because, like I said, this company has never done this lock before, and they do very good when it comes to some of these different locking mechanisms. Their button locks are very well done. So you have CJRB and their standard two-stage box. You also get your zippered pouch, which is a nice touch coming from CJRB. I'm glad they decided to up their unpackaging experience or their unboxing experience. You get a nice cloth from them now, which is another nice touch. They include a couple silica packets, and here we go, guys. The CJRB Hectare, and this is their first attempt at a crossbar locking knife. You're going to get G10 handles, your standard G10, nice finish on them. Your blade is centered, nice and centered. Your standard deep carry steel rollover clip. It will be reversible for our lefty brothers out there. This is a very simple construction. I haven't seen much on this knife either. I've only seen a video or two on this, so I figured I would snag one and kind of see for myself. So you have black G10 and a satin finished RPM 9 drop point blade. This really reminds me of the Vosteed Raccoon in a sense, a little tiny bit. Let's see how that crossbar lock works. Ooh, okay. Ooh, yes. That's got a nice strong spring in there. Easy to grab. Very neutral handle, so it is comfortable in hand. It's not a massive knife. Why don't we go ahead, we'll grab a quick measurement. We did retire our old roller and get a new roller in, so we kind of put the old roller to rest in a sense. So this one's coming in about 7 1/8 inch overall, and then you're getting 2.5 inches of cutting edge and about 3 1/8 to the handle start there. So it's not a big knife by any means, but I can get a full grip on this thing. I knew it was a little smaller of a knife, but it actually fits in the hand very well. Nice finish on the blade. They say that it's a satin finish with a sand blast polish or something, but it looks like a mirrored satin finish. It looks really good, I have to say, and it's got a nice. It's not going to be fingerprinty, so or as badly. So that's nice that you don't have to deal with the fingerprint smudges as badly as you would on certain satin finishes. Why don't we go ahead and we'll throw this up against a few other CJRBs so you can get an idea of how big or small this knife really is. So the Frac is a big knife, or that's a full-size knife. The Hectare is really, you get a little bit more handle, a little bit more blade, but I think the Hectare is going to be in that sweet spot for a lot of people. As far as the size is concerned, the blade shape is going to do a lot of things very good. So why don't we bring out the pyrite, which this is basically a crossbar locking pyrite with a semi-different handle and a slightly different drop point. There's a little bit more belly to the Hectare. I actually like the blade shape of the Hectare a little bit more. And there's another knife I wanted to bring out, and that is the Vosteed Raccoon drop point. They also did a sheep's foot raccoon as well. Now, this is very, very similar in its blade shape. The handles are completely different. I don't believe this is a copy of the raccoon or anything like that. It's a very similar blade shape, but they are still different, different designs completely. But it very much reminds me of the raccoon. It's cool to see these companies starting to really expand their options. You know, CJRB has liner locks. Now they went to button locks and they nailed those. Now they're going to crossbar locks, which I think is a good move on their part. Button locks are very popular, but crossbar locks are equally just as popular, and I would have to say, in my own opinion, I think that crossbar locks give you that little sense of extra strength behind that locking system, whereas the plunge lock system can be fun, it can be fidgety, but you don't have that sense of security when it comes to the locking system. Now, CJRB does a fantastic job on their button locks, and I've never had an issue with one failing. But that's not to, you know, say that plunge locks are ultra strong or ultra tough. Now you're getting 100 thousandths on the blade stock, so that's pretty thin. We'll pick a random spot here. Wow. Right there, it's coming down around 8 thousandths behind the edge. So that's coming down pretty thin, guys. Pretty damn thin. Why don't we get a quick weight on this guy too? We'll do a full in-depth overview of this guy here after a bit. 2.7 ounces. 2.65, 2.7 ounces. That is impressively light. So what's going on in... So you have recessed liners with a lot of milling going on in there. A lot of weight relief, triangular cuts. And then you can see right here, you can see the pocket that the crossbar lock kind of falls into. That thing really has good action. The springs are nice and strong. You can really feel it when you disengage it. And then you can, as soon as you flick this guy open, you can wind up on it. So they are really starting to hone in on these crossbar locks and really get them dialed in. You know, a couple years ago, a crossbar lock was 50-50 whether it was strong and felt like this or whether it was very loosey-goosey and you could, you know, basically throw it out. Now you cannot, if I really try, I might be able to. No, I can't even get it to come out. Ooh, I got it right there. But I gotta really try, guys. Really try. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. There's several crossbar lock knives I can just take and kind of lightly, you know, flick it out. Yeah, that's nice. They are starting to really dial these things in, and that is impressive, you know, on itself right there. So why don't we check what kind of edge that they put on this guy. That has an extremely good edge on it. And that finish really helps the material just glide right through. It's a very smooth, polished finish. You can really feel that finish at work there when you are cutting. Yeah. So they did a outstanding job on that finish. I'll have to kind of dig into a little bit more. They say that it is a satin finished blade, but that it has a high sand blast finish, but I don't see the sand blasting in it. Or a sand polished finish. I'm sorry. It's a sand polished finish. But what I'm used to with sand blasted knives is it has a darker shade of gray. So I'm not quite sure how that fits into this, because that is just a nice regular satin finish. And then that must be something they do after the fact, because it's a nice slick finish that really doesn't take on fingerprints. So that's a pretty cool finish. It's nice and slick and smooth, which is really going to aid when you are cutting through materials or certain materials. It's going to, that finish is going to help you get through certain materials a lot easier. So you'll have to let me know what you think of this guy down here. It kind of reminds me of a cross between a bug out and a raccoon and a few other knives. It's a very simple design, but a simple design that is done very well is a very useful pocket knife. You got the nice drop point blade here. I would have liked to have seen the jimping extended out, because if you're up here in the choked up position where that finger choil is, you're going to be way past this row of jimping. I hope that's something that companies start doing. There are more companies doing it now, but bring that jimping out further. I don't see a reason not to do it. Give us an extra thumb length of jimping there, and I think this knife is pretty much complaint free. The CJRB there, nice and small by the tang. Don't really notice it much. They keep all the writing and steel markings and everything real small and out of the way, so it looks nice and clean. I have to believe they'll be doing a premium version of this. If this sells, kind of like the Pyrite does and the Pyrite Warney, if this has a lot of attention on it, I bet they'll make a titanium S90V, type of deal. We'll have to see, but this knife would be awesome with a titanium handle and, an S90V or L-Max or something like that, as far as the steel is concerned, because this is a nice design. They have a couple different handle colors, and I think it's for the most part this satin finish. They might have a coated option, but I don't remember seeing one. I think they are all satin at this point in time. Let me know what you think of this guy down below. If you have one or are interested in getting one, I'd love to know. Or just let me know what you're carrying today. Hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel or you've been here before and you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below the video. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I will catch you on the next one.